So since my last video seemed to be really popular with you guys, some people loved it, some people didn't love it. If their country was not in the top 16 or if you didn't agree with my picks, that's my dog, Ted. That big box there is from our stroller, which if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I'm 30 weeks pregnant, which is crazy. But anyways, so today I want to talk a little bit about what IMG looks for in a Miss Universe, what they look for in a title holder. That's that. First and foremost, what gives me some of this knowledge, if you will, is that I competed at Miss Universe. I represented Canada at Miss Universe, and so I got to be behind the scenes and meet the people who make some of these decisions. And for some people, they don't know that it's not just the judges that make the decision on who makes it into the semifinals. The Miss Universe organization also has a say. What's important about that is that a girl may be beautiful, she may have an amazing walk, she may have an amazing platform, she might be a medical student, she might have this incredible resume, and for us watching the pageant, she might seem like the ideal title holder, but if behind the scenes she isn't treating her fellow delegates, she isn't treating the volunteers or the chaperones or the people who work at the hotel, if she isn't treating those people with respect, the Miss Universe organization sees that, and that's a big downfall for that girl. From what we see as, you know, fans, what we see in the photos, that doesn't tell the whole story. And so that to me is a really, really important thing to remember, that when we watch the pageant on the final night, if there's girls who we expected to see in the top, that could be one of the reasons that they may not have made it. And that's not always the case. There's also the interview with the judges, and that is huge. The interview with the judges is something that we don't see as spectators of the pageant. We don't get to see that behind the scenes, what the interview is like. And that is another major area where a girl who may speak well on stage, but she doesn't quite come through in interviews. Being a delegate, being involved in the pageant, definitely opened my eyes to what they're looking for, and also what it takes to be a Miss Universe, and also what can really stop somebody from not making it to that next level. So interview is another major thing that we don't see as spectators that can contribute to how the girls place, and also what the Miss Universe organization is looking for. When the interviews take place, it's not just the judges sitting there. There are cameras. Paula Shugart is in the room, the president of the Miss Universe organization. So she is seeing how these girls handle themselves, how they walk into the room, what they're wearing, what their body language is like, how they handle the judges, how they handle really the whole experience. People like Paula Shugart and other people in the Miss Universe organization, they're around all the time. They're in on some of the rehearsals. They're there when the girls are going for dinner. They're at the events. They're always there, and they might not see everything that happens, but they definitely will be able to tell which girls not only, you know, are beautiful and have great interview skills and all that stuff, but just how they are with each other, how they treat each other, as I've said, how they treat, you know, people serving the dinner or the people at the hotel. They notice all those things, and they really take those things into account when they're making their decision on who's going to make it into the semifinals and ultimately who they want as a title holder. Next, what kind of gives me some insight is that I have judged some of the pageants in the Miss Universe and the Miss USA circuit. First, I judged Miss USA, Miss Teen USA. You're judging these pageants, you are given like a list of criteria from the Miss Universe, Miss USA organization that they're ultimately looking for. So when we were judging Miss California USA, did I say Miss USA, Miss Teen USA? I meant Miss California Teen USA, Miss California Teen USA. I wasn't a judge at Miss USA, you guys would have known that. But when we were looking for like the next Miss California USA or Miss California Teen USA, the California Teen USA is gonna go on to Miss USA, but the Miss California USA, ultimately they're looking for a woman who could potentially compete at Miss Universe. And so these girls have to have it all. I also judged Miss Iceland Universe this past year, just a few months ago, and that for me was my first pageant that I judged that was choosing the national title holder to go to Miss Universe, and that was really interesting for me. And the judging honestly is so similar to many of the pageants that I have judged before, you're always looking for the same thing. You're looking for a woman who is not only representing herself, but she's representing something so much greater. She's representing an organization, she's representing causes, she's representing other women. There's just so much more than just being a nice person who has a good resume. There's so much more involved. If you are to win a title, it's a lot of work. I think some women actually underestimate the amount of work that goes into being a title holder. Depending on what country you're from, in Canada, we really have to push to do events on our own. So Lauren Howe and I are quite good friends, and both of us organized most of the events that we did. Basically all of them, like 99.9% of the things that I did, the things that I spoke at, the events that I went to, I organized myself. And so it's a lot of work, and some people aren't ready for that. And so you really have to push these girls and ask them, what have you done where you've organized a schedule? What have you done that has pushed yourself outside of your limits? And you're really looking for someone who's not only beautiful, who has great stage presence, great presence overall, great interview skills. You're looking for somebody who can handle the stress, the pressure, and the work that it takes to be a title holder. When I was at Miss Universe Iceland, for example, and I was sitting on the judging panel, I kept reminding myself, this woman who wins this competition is going to go on and represent her nation at Miss Universe. It's a big deal, it's a big responsibility, and when you're at Miss Universe representing your country, it is such an honor, and it's also, there's a lot of pressure involved. And if you go on and you win Miss Universe, there's even more pressure. There's going to be so many people who are critical about you. There's gonna be people who are saying all kinds of things regardless of what you look like, regardless of your walk. I experienced that when I was just competing as a delegate at Miss Universe. I didn't even win Miss Universe, but I had so many people saying, I mean, if you followed me, you know, people were calling me fat, overweight, told me I was promoting obesity, and saying so many harsh, negative, horrible things about me and my body, even cutting down my character, saying that I didn't deserve a place anywhere, let alone at Miss Universe, and on and on. I talk about that in a different video, so if you want to hear more about that, you can absolutely watch that. I'll put the link in the description box. But I had to be able to handle that pressure. I had to be able to handle what people were saying about me and somehow keep composed and keep representing myself and Canada at Miss Universe. Now, if you win Miss Universe, you will have people who are going to criticize you for the whole year. They're going to criticize everything. I know there's been, you know, different controversies when Pia won Miss Universe. She was criticized about everything about her 1,000-fold because of what happened during the crowning moments, and she had no control over that. She had no control over what happened, and yet she was criticized about it and shamed about it. She had to be a strong enough person, and she was, to handle it. She still remains one of my favorite Miss Universes ever because she has personality, she has poise, she can handle interviews, she's funny, but she also has the strength to be able to be a stronger person and to be able to hear those comments, read those comments about herself, and rise above. To me, that is one thing that is really hard to judge or to look for when you're looking at delegates and interviewing delegates, is who can handle the pressure, who can handle the criticism that it is going to take to be a title holder, to be, in this case, Miss Universe. It's a lot, and not everybody can handle it. Honestly, it is a lot easier to put on beautiful clothing, to do your hair, to do your makeup, to go to gala events, to speak in an interview, to speak on stage. All of that is so much easier than dealing with the criticism that you may face as a title holder. Next, something that the Miss Universe organization will look out for in a title holder is who's able to handle a crazy schedule with very little sleep. When we were in the Philippines, we seriously sometimes slept for maybe 40 minutes. Honestly, I swear the average time we slept was 2 to 3 hours a night. It was freaking crazy. I don't think I've ever been so tired in my life, but you just keep going. You put on your makeup, you put on your outfit, and you go out there, you put on your sash, and you smile, and you enjoy the experience. And truly, you're running on adrenaline, and it's wonderful and amazing and exciting. Definitely hard, and we were there for about 2.5 weeks, kind of like the girls in Thailand. They're gonna have just as crazy of a schedule because it's Thailand. It's gonna be wild for them. Start to see after the week and a half, a lot of girls can't handle it. It's just too much. Girls will either start not wanting to go to events, or their behavior might start changing. There's only so long that you can kind of fake a smile, and you really start to see who can handle it and who cannot. And if you win Miss Universe, you have a crazy schedule for the whole year. It's not just 2.5 weeks, it's a whole year of hair, makeup, galas, charity events, speaking, of just going and doing volunteer work. There's so much traveling around the world. So it's basically, I feel like, a year of Miss Universe, the competition. It's like a whole year of like crazy traveling and everything. And so a lot of people can't handle that. And once again, the Miss Universe organization will see that. They'll see that for when we're watching, we don't see the crazy schedule the girls are handling, how they're handling it. They might look beautiful on the outside and be speaking well, but behind the scenes it might be a different story. That's another major thing that the organization looks out for in their potential title holder. So I feel that there's a lot more I could say, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I know that there are some girls at Miss Universe this year who are totally ready to be Miss Universe 2018. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens, who the Miss Universe organization and the judges think will be the best title holder. And it's gonna be fun for us to watch and analyze until it actually happens. So until my next prediction video, excuse me, it'll be coming very soon, I promise you. Some of my selections have already changed, so stay tuned for that. And please let me know in the comments what you guys think it takes to be Miss Universe. What traits, what kind of things does it take to be a title holder like Miss Universe? Until next time.